I wish to introduce Sophia Poveda, member of the senior class, who will be speaking for the graduating class.
Wow, I can't believe we're here. Stonehill College faculty, staff, friends and family who are here today, those who are watching online, and class of 2021, welcome. I want to start by thanking God and my parents who have supported me endlessly to get me to where I am today. I think you're in the crowd somewhere, and I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. Also, it would be careless for me not to recognize the sacrifices every parent and family member has made to have their graduates seated here today. I stand here incredibly grateful, but I want to acknowledge that there are people who could not be here today with us, and that this year has been extremely difficult. But I find great peace in the fact that every graduate is supported by our Stonehill community, a community where we are seen, heard, but most importantly, loved. So class, I want to thank you for all being here. I know some of us had a long night last night. But most importantly, this senior year is not the year that we had all pictured in our minds. For starters, I pictured my first semester of senior year in person. I know some of us had the opportunity to be on campus and be back in the dorms, but others of us chose to commute or to join Zoom University. So now in my case, a lot more people have seen the inside of my childhood bedroom than I'd like. Thank you, Zoom. But nonetheless, here we are. Being home for the fall semester allowed me to reflect and appreciate my 4 years at Stonehill. It also allowed me to clean out my closet one too many times. And while cleaning out, I found this Stonehill t-shirt with the words "Think, Act, Lead" in purple on the front. So the story behind this shirt is that freshman year, my mom called me and she told me that I had to sign up for this Think, Act, Lead conference. She said it would, quote unquote, help me with my career. I stand here today with a full-time job post-graduation, so I guess it worked. Thank you, Mom. But honestly, I only told her yes because I knew I would get free Stonehill swag, which included that t-shirt. And when you're a broke college student, anything with the word free in front of it, you'll take. So now, I stand here 4 years later, finally realizing that what Stonehill has done is molded us into people who can think, act, and lead. The first, think. One of my favorite quotes reads, "If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you think about it." Throughout my 4 years, I have taken classes that have challenged me academically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. I'll be honest, I've sat in some classes where I didn't agree with the professor at all, but it was in those classes where I learned something more. I would go to office hours, have those tough conversations, and ultimately create relationships with my professors. And even though in many instances they didn't or couldn't change my opinion on a topic, they did change my perspective. And that's what Stonehill has done. They have taught us how to learn to look at the things we cannot change differently. And I know this year is not what any of us would have hoped it to be, but when we shift our perspective, we can realize it has actually been so much more. Senior year is typically the year of lasts, but when I learned to shift my perspective, I realized for myself it's been much more of a year of firsts. The first time I lived off campus, the first time I went to Barrett's, and I'm embarrassed to say Brax, and okay, I know that may be lame to some of you, I realize, but it was also the first time I didn't have a volleyball season. It was the first time I walked around the town of Easton and realized there's more than just Farmer's Daughter on Main Street. And I know maybe some of the things I'm mentioning are not first for all of you, but a little shift in perspective can change a lot. And from our thoughts come our actions. So the second word, act. During our time at Stonehill, we have lived through 2 presidencies, even an impeachment or 2, movements like #MeToo and Black Lives Matter. We have witnessed the hatred spewed and lives taken against our brothers and sisters of color. We are living through a pandemic, and by the grace of God, we sit here today. But we have been more than just witnesses to these events. We have been encouraged to act in what we believe in, to bring justice to those who have been marginalized. I am honored to be a part of the class of 2021, filled with graduates who I have seen take a stand for what they believe in, graduates who I believe will act, will not be silenced, and will make their voices heard in their communities. And in conclusion, this brings us to our last word, lead. Lead is what we have been prepared to do over these last 4 years. Some of us are going to become teachers. Some of us are going to join corporate America. Others of us will become doctors, scientists, lawyers, and some of us will become students again. Regardless, all of us are going to become leaders. And as leaders, we are role models for those who come after us, and we have a responsibility to them. So, the question I leave with you all, class of 2021, how will you lead? And that's a question we will each have to answer for ourselves. However, as Stonehill graduates, I know we will all lead with light and hope, a little lux et spes, and leave this campus a little brighter than when we first found it. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2021, we did it.
Thank you, Sophia.